Hello YouTube, Proxy here, and this video is about Rend. Now, a few weeks ago, Jarnod over at Frostkeep Studios kindly gave me a pre-alpha key, so I could check out the game and see what Rend is truly like firsthand. So a big shout out goes to Frostkeep for letting me play your game. It was something that I was genuinely interested in playing, so I'm really glad that I got the privilege to do so. In fact, I've already clocked in well over 100 hours already on Steam, and in the process I have even met some amazing people and even made some new friends. And the new friends are always good. Just as a disclaimer, this is pre-alpha footage of the game, and there is a lot of features that are currently disabled or still being developed currently. Stuff like mounts, spirit world features, the magic system is currently unfinished, and some skills and other features just don't work at the moment. So as a game it's very much incomplete, but still very playable. So I did cover what this game was about in another video. But to summarise it up quickly, it's a 20 vs 20 vs 20 faction-based survival arena game, in which you compete with other factions not only to survive against the Reckoning and other players, but attempt to gain enough spirits or souls to power up a giant world tree for your faction in order to appease the creator and win the game. And this alone makes it very different from survival games I've played before. So what was my very first experience of Rend like? Well, when you launch the game you are presented with a very basic character creation. Here you can select your faction and some very limited cosmetic options as well as your gender. Now when it comes to picking a faction, the only real difference is who you will be playing with and the colour of your glow. So when it comes to picking your faction, I suggest choosing the colour you like most, as you will be seeing it a lot. To some degree, the faction's colours are important, as it is what you will use in game to see who is the enemy and who is shooting at you. The colour of their tattoos and eyes will help you identify who is friend or foe, as well as projectiles fired from weapons lets you know who is shooting at you. In terms of other customization options, it's pretty limited. However, it is just pre-alpha, so more options will be unlocked in the future, and some options will get unlocked with progression points which are rewarded when a game of Rend ends. Once I was in game, I talked with my faction who were all incredibly friendly. We worked together to gain resources, enhance our base and get some PvP. And overall this was a really nice experience. When you compare it to other survival games where you are merely just dropped into the world and have to survive and collect stuff, it really felt rewarding to be part of a team with predefined goals other than just survive. In Rend you are working towards something. You aren't just surviving. You are aiming to win an extremely long game. And to win is surviving. This adds a whole bunch of meaning to the game and makes you feel like you have a purpose within the game, not just collecting stuff and building a base. Currently, most of the time in game you will find yourself gathering basic resources, leveling up, out getting rare resources from dangerous areas, like metals such as flux, tin and copper, so you can make bronze tools later. And much later on you will be delving into harsh climate based areas in order to get rare resources. And you do this mostly so your faction can advance in research. And this will give you access to better tools, weapons, armor, and buildings. And you're going to be doing this to prepare for the Reckonings. While you are playing Rend, you are going to be engaging in a lot of PvP. Skirmishes will occur all the time, especially in areas where there are resources which are in constant demand. And this is most apparent when you're trying to go for bronze technology, as the base metals required to craft bronze are all located in different faction territories, and conflict will often occur because of this. And for PvP players, this is great. Now as a pure PvE player in Rend, in the current game mode, there are PvE aspects of the game to play and there is quite a lot of them, but this game does contain a lot of PvP. And it's something that you need to be aware of if you want to play it. This is definitely more of a game aimed towards the PvP crowd, and does contain a lot of PvE elements that are fun as well. For those that enjoy PvE exclusively, you might not enjoy the default game mode. Luckily for the PvE players out there, there will be customizable game features and rule sets to host your own private servers. So making a PvE only server should be viable in the future, and there will be more game modes accessible in the future as well. The RPG mechanics behind character progression are fairly standard. You kill stuff, gather stuff, and for which you are provided with XP and eventually level up. You then get skill points in which you can invest into the Assassin, Soldier, Survivalist or Mystic skill trees. You are limited to only 2 of those skill trees to invest in. So you could be a Soldier Assassin, Survivalist Soldier, and all other combinations. The skill trees have various tiers of skills, and you need to invest a certain amount to access the next tier of skill. Each tree offers a different playstyle and has various different advantages. So far I've mostly been utilising the Soldier and Assassin skill trees as they currently offer the most in pre-alpha. But once the magic system is enabled, Mystic looks like it will be a lot of fun and certainly be the more original class to play. Alongside the skill tree system is also a skill system, which will level up individual skills with various weapon types, gathering skills, and other abilities. By reaching certain levels within these skills such as stone collecting and metal mining is a perks system, where at certain levels you will be prompted to choose between two perks. As a side bonus, the more you level up these skills, you will also gain access to specific crafting recipes to boot. The PvE elements of the game currently are a little grindy, and mostly involve gathering the resources, research, building up the base, and plundering dangerous zones to get rare resources. Though you can also stumble upon artifacts of immense power, however I am yet to see one of these. There is also the Reckoning, which is a weekly event where demons attempt to destroy your base. Meanwhile, the PvP elements will occur while trying to do all of the things listed above. You can raid the enemy faction zone and steal resources from them, or attempt to ambush them while they're leaving the rare resource zones. And when the base barrier drops during the Reckoning, you can attempt to sabotage the enemy faction's defense attempts against the demons, and possibly even wipe out a faction completely. On top of this, there is a reputation system, which enables people who are the most active and do most of the work for the faction get more permissions within the base, while those who attempt to grief or harass their own faction will quickly find themselves unable to interact with the base at all. It's quite an interesting anti-griefing mechanic. The reputation system allows those people who work most for the faction to take control of it, and provides secure chests that can only be accessed by those who truly work in the faction's interests. I think it's also important to mention that Rend boasts the smoothest gameplay experience that I have ever had on the Unreal 4 engine so far. I've had no FPS drops, no loading lag, no frame skips, and despite playing on the NA servers from EU, I've had no latency issues or lag issues during most of my time playing. I did have some screen freezes during the Reckoning, when the waves of demons initially spawned in, but that's the only performance issues I received on my 4-year-old PC, and currently the loading times to get in game are incredibly short. Although when more features are added to the game, I'm not sure it's going to stay that way. Still, it's a really impressive level of optimization, and I really hope they can keep to this standard. However, despite all of these good things about Rend, I do feel the basic survival elements are still quite generic. You need to eat food and drink water and deal with the heat and cold. Those are pretty standard survival elements. But Rend does utilize them in clever ways, such as the cave network where you find iron. You will need to progress as a team to work your way through it, to find the delicious iron resources and artifacts within. The cave is like a maze, and it's pitch black inside, so you will need people to hold up torches as you progress through it. And you will need to bring a large amount of water as it's pretty hot inside, which causes you to dehydrate at an accelerated rate. And on top of this, the other factions will appear in the same cave network, which can lead to some epically fun PvP competing over the same resources inside a very hostile environment. Overall, the pre-alpha version of Rend is a lot of fun. In fact, it's been a long time since I have enjoyed a survival game this much. I was originally skeptical of the concept of factions in a game like this, but it actually works quite well. The fact it's a survival game where you can actually win, and its slightly cartoonish art style, with still some realistic features, really gives this game a lot of personality, and provides a very enjoyable experience. It also fixes some of the issues I have with other survival games, because usually in those survival games you reach a point where surviving is pretty easy, and can often lose its sense of challenge. Meanwhile in Rend you will always feel like you are fighting to survive, surviving against the weekly demon hordes, surviving against the other factions, and ultimately aiming to survive to win the game by surviving in general. The game is still in pre-alpha, and despite some of the features still being disabled, the game did feel pretty polished and well optimized. And I have a strong feeling for this game that it's going to be quite popular. However, the survival aspects could certainly use more originality in itself, and are quite generic and somewhat repetitive. While it is good to have systems that are familiar, I feel like Rend should really go the extra mile and add even more uniqueness and twists to what is already a potentially outstanding game. The survival genre has become a little stagnant in several ways, and Rend could be that breath of fresh air it needs. I know that I will be personally picking up a copy of this game once it launches, and if you were like me and found that survival games have become a little bit too generic over the last year or so, and are looking for a PvX survival game that offers something new, with factions, teamwork and the ability to actually win a game opposed to just surviving in it, then Rend will be a game to look forward to. And if you are interested in just trying it out, You can go to their website at frostkeep.com, where you can sign up for the pre-alpha, so you can get a chance to play the game before the launch of Early Access. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this look into the pre-alpha version of Rend. And if you want to see more Rend content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave any comments or questions you have below. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Throw the stones! You can kill him. I got faith in you, bro.
I don't think I have enough on me.
I think you hit him like 3 times, but you can't really tell.
Hit me! Hit me!
I can't. Oh great, now we have another guy.
Well, the stones get stuck in the force field, so they just kind of hang there. Oh, we could draw pictures on the wall with stones. That smiley face incoming. Ah, yeah. Oh, it despawns too quickly.
Yep, you can only have 4 out.
Maybe if you work together in some kind of synergy. Ow! Fucking arrow stuck in my head. Dang.
Shit, my reputation went to poor. Fuck.